As we get near the end of the liturgical year, the readings remind us of the urgency of our situation. In the gospel, Jesus talks about the end of the world. And throughout history, thousands have waited for and anticipated, and often, quite strangely, looked forward to the end of the world. I think the last end of the world prophecy was in the year 2000 with the Y2K business, if you remember that. Of course, nothing happened. But if it comes soon, the end of the world, I think I know a way we can avoid it. Let's show the clip.
One minute.
We'll be ready in 1 minute. Sir, we're ready.
That could work. We could do that. Anyway, at the end, we know that everyone will be judged. We say it in our creed every week. He will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead. In case there are any doubters, there must be a heaven and there must be a hell. Otherwise, why are we being judged at all? Heaven and happiness for those who belong to God, and possibly hell for those who totally reject God. But just so you know, it's not so easy to go to hell. I mean, you really have to want to go to hell in order to get there. You have to work at it. You have to choose it. Nobody is going to go to hell by mistake, so don't worry about that. You know, but it's more likely we'll meet our own personal end rather than we'll be here for the end of the world. That's kind of the way it works. We just don't know the day or the time. But everyone will need to give an account at the end. So it's important that we do what we can do right now to anticipate the end so that our hearts are in the right condition. And I'd like to follow Jesus' example and use a parable, as he often does, to illustrate how this accounting might go. And this is called the parable of the coats, and it's based on a dream that I had. So let's say that I'm dead, okay, and I get up to heaven and meet Jesus at the gate, and he says, Dan, it's so great to see you here. Let me ask you a question. What have you done for me? And I said, I'm glad you asked that question because I've got some great stuff here that I think you need to see. And so I reach into my bag and I pull out my associate degree. And he just stares at me. Reach into my bag, pull out my bachelor's degree. He's not impressed. So I said, oh, okay. Reach into my bag, pull out my master's degree. 4.0. Alpha Sigma Lambda. Phi Kappa Phi at West Point. And he's just standing there with his arms crossed, looking at me. And he said, well, Dan, what I wanted. And I said, no, wait. And I pull out my clinical membership in the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. And I said, Jesus, they don't give this to just anybody. And Jesus says, well, you see. And I go, no, wait. And then I pull out my awards and decorations from 27 years in the Army. Just look at this, Jesus, look at this impressive line of awards and decorations. It's so colorful, it looks like fruit salad. And by now, Jesus is just standing there, with his arms crossed, staring at me. He's not angry, he's not mad, he just looks a little bit disappointed. And I can tell that it's not going to do me any good to pull out my first place trophy from the racquetball tournament. So, yeah. And Jesus says, look, Dan, I didn't ask you what you did for you. I asked you what you did for me. And by the way, where are your brothers and sisters? And I said, oh, I have lots of brothers and sisters, and I do all kinds of stuff for them. All the time. And Jesus said, Dan, close your eyes for a minute and let me remind you of something that happened last month. And so I did, close my eyes, and he ran a little movie for me in my head. A beggar came to my door when it was really cold out and asked, do you have a spare coat? And he looked cold. So I said, well, hold on, let me have a look. And I mosey over to my closet, and I have 4 or 5 coats in my closet. But in the back of the closet, I spot my old hoodie. And I don't think I can get the stain out of this anymore, and I don't want to wear it myself. This happened at Costco when a hot dog exploded that I was eating. And so, I'm too embarrassed to wear it myself. I don't think Bill wants it. And so, the guy's lucky he's getting anything at all. It's cold outside. It's freezing outside. So, he takes the hoodie, and he leaves. Now, about 15 minutes later, I'm sitting in my office, which is at the front of my house, so I can see the whole road and everything, and I see Jesus coming up my sidewalk. Jesus comes to my door, and he's kind of shivering and asks, do you have a spare coat? And I went, whoa, Jesus, are you kidding me? Of course I have a spare coat. I have just the coat. So I run to my closet, and I get the best coat in there. And I know it's the best because it's my coat. Look at this thing. This is the coat of coats. This is a coat beyond all coats. Feel this coat. This is such a great coat. What do you think about that? This would make an excellent baptism gift. And it's a really great coat. This coat is so nice. Help me out. How nice is it? This coat is so nice that when I put it in the new gift shop, there's going to start a bidding war. That's it. Okay. This coat is so nice, how nice, that if I wear this coat and I sit down beside you, you're going to be warm too. That's how warm this coat is. So Jesus takes the coat, and he thanks me, and he leaves. And of course, I'm so freaked out that I was able to give Jesus a nice warm coat. I run back to my office, and I'm peeking through the blinds to see which way he's going. He walks across the street, and he trades the coat I just gave him for the worn-out hoodie that I gave that guy 15 minutes ago. And he puts on the hoodie. And he turns and he looks right at me, and I mean right through the blinds, eyeball to eyeball, right at me. The way he looked at Peter that one time. And he does this. No, I know what that means. I know what it is. It's that 5-finger catechism again. You did it to me. And he's telling me, when you gave him this old, ratty, stained hoodie that you were going to throw out, you gave it to me. End of parable. Jesus looks at us all the time. Sometimes he looks at us just like he looked at Peter after he denied him, or just like he looked at me in this parable. We don't know the hour or the day he'll come for us, but if he comes today, if he looks at you right now into your heart, what will he see? Are there any bad habits left to give up? Is there anyone you are still angry with? Anyone left that you still need to forgive while there's still time? The good news is God is infinitely merciful even when we don't deserve it. His mercy and justice work together side by side all the time. He sees what's in our hearts. He knows the pressure we are under sometimes. He knows how hard it is to survive in a world like this sometimes. But he looks at each of our hearts and judges by what he sees there. And here's a hint. When you finally see him, and you will, and he asks, what have you done for me? What he really means is, where are your brothers and sisters? Will you be able to answer? What movie will he run for you?